Hello everyone, hope you're doing well today. It's Margaret here with 60 and Me. I've got a very fun video for you today, and as probably by the title you're intrigued as to what I'm going to say about how you can have more energy after 60 by living like a toddler. Now, I am grandmother, maybe some of you are too, and you know how exhausting they can be and how tiring you can get after spending just 3 or 4 hours with them. They are full of energy. So how do they do it? And it's just funny, I often say to my daughter-in-law, can we bottle some of that energy? I mean, that would be so valuable to have. We could make $1 million with that. That energy is precious and it's natural. I mean, they do it totally naturally. So I want to share with you how to have more energy according to toddlers. Now, I love spending time with my grandkids, and I'm learning from them all the time. But here's one thing I know that's absolutely true for every single toddler. They move all the time unless they're asleep. That's it. On, off. That's their switch. They're hardly ever tired. I mean, I suppose if, like if they've gone swimming or they're really had a busy moment, they for like maybe a few minutes are like, oh, I'm kind of tired, but then they're right back. So unless they're asleep, they're awake, they're active, they're doing it. Being in motion, that's the word. Those are the key words for us. Being in motion is what gives you energy. Now, if you're sitting down all day at the computer, I agree to this, or you are watching TV or just sitting on the sofa or just not moving, you're not going to feel much energy because your body needs energy in order to create more. It needs to move. And this is one of the things they've shown in these places. I think they call them the blue zones, where people live to be 100 and something years old. And one of them is Okinawa in Japan. They're all over the place, but there's places where there's some qualities about what they do that contribute to a long, happy life. And that is movement. They're moving. They don't, in Okinawa, for example, they're climbing up hills and doing their farming and very outdoorsy things and keeping busy, keeping moving. So spend a day with a toddler, watch them, or play with them too. It's an amazing opportunity to get in shape. I look at it as my gym lesson. That's what I do. So anyway, use your garden. You can go out in the garden and dig if you haven't got grandkids. You can leave your car at the back of the car parking space in the daytime and walk to the places that you need to shop. You can do things to stretch that movement just a little bit further. Walk up the stairs instead of going on the lift. I know that's tricky, but all you cruisers out there, instead of getting on that lift every time and go up to the 13th floor, you'll see how healthy and happy and energized you feel. So next thing that kids do, that toddlers do, is they follow their interests and they're learning constantly. Why is that, Bubba? How is that, Bubba? Isn't that, Bubba? Why? Shouldn't it? Isn't it? Couldn't it? Wouldn't it? They're just like asking questions all the time, and they want to know. And if you tell them, the classic, why is the sky blue? Well, I actually couldn't tell you, to be honest, right now. I'd probably reach to my phone and go, hi, Siri, why exactly is the sky blue? Max asked me, my grandson yesterday asked me, why is grass green? And he genuinely asked me this question, and I did not know. And it actually has got to do with our eyes and the way we see things. It's got to do with chlorophyll and in the plants and this whole process of photosynthesis, which I didn't know about. And he was like, yeah, that's really cool. He didn't want to know too much of the the chemical thing about vision and what we see and blah blah blah, but he was like learning all the time. He was activating his little brain to be learning, and that's where energy comes from. It's like a cycle of energy. Like you learn something, you're curious about something, you do something for the first time, and you explore an activity that you've never done. And suddenly you're feeling energized. And isn't that what they say, time passes quickly when you're having fun, because you're just not even thinking about the energy that you're giving out. You're just creating more. So just do the things you love. Have interests, follow them, be energized by your passions. That's really as simple as that. What's the next one? Oh yes, hum, sing, and express themselves. They are always singing. They're always humming. I say always, that's not a good word to use for anything, but they often are humming and singing all the time. I know that both my grandkids now are learning German at school, and so they're singing little German songs all the time because it's one of the ways they learn. So, but this is how we learn and how we pass our, get the energy going in our bodies, is to sing, talk, hum. I know maybe you find this when you go out somewhere, like you're in the shops and you want to, just have a chat with someone. It's just like it's energizing. And you go away from it thinking, oh, that was fun. That was really nice. That was really cool. I enjoyed that. And so that's another way that you can energize yourself, just by simply talking, sharing, singing. They're always using their vocal cords. And my vocal cords are kind of funky at the moment because I've had a little cold and it's just like hanging on. But anyway, they so do things, that energize you by just acting. Cry when you need to cry. Hum along with the music. Sing along with the music. If you're out and about, listen to music and then hum along even in your head. Let your body feel the vibration of sound, and you will see you'll get energized. One other thing that toddlers do that energizes them, and I actually do believe in this one, is that they only eat when they're hungry. Try to get a child to eat something when they're not hungry. They just don't want it. They don't want food. They know, their bodies know when they are hungry, and they will eat only then. And they'll eat, and then they'll get hungry at funny times. And then in the middle, even 2 hours after they've had their lunch, I'm starving. And then they know that their body needs more fuel because they've probably been doing something high energy. So eating only when you're hungry. Not when your body says, oh, it's 12 o'clock, time for lunch, or 6 o'clock, time for breakfast. Just eat when you're hungry. And if you're not hungry, don't eat. You'll probably notice some weight loss. You'll notice yourself feeling better, but I think that's really, really important. That intermittent fasting is a perfect example of this. That a lot of people are doing this intermittent fasting where you don't eat for 12 hours. So you go to bed, at 10 o'clock, and then you don't eat until 10 o'clock the next morning. And or just even longer than that, people are doing it. And it's kind of the same strategy: is that only eat when you're super hungry. And then you'll enjoy the food. You'll feel like you're really satisfying yourself. But toddlers don't eat unless they're hungry. So follow their example. Next thing, they take naps. Literally, they just, like, 1 minute they're bouncing around and the next minute they're asleep. And their little bodies know when they've got energy to keep going and to play and dance and scream and sing. And then they know when it's time to sleep. So they take naps. Now, I personally am not a napper. I don't take naps ever. They make me tireder. That's just me. And I think I'm unusual because I think most people who take a nap in the afternoon can just take a quick nap, wake up, feel good. And so toddlers do that. They don't have to be, playing all the time. They just know when it's time to lay down. And we don't need to be playing in tune and online all the time. We don't have to be on all the time. We can relax too. It's okay. So follow the toddler's example. Take your naps, and that could just be sit down and read, or just do some meditation, or just be quiet. That could be the way you do it. So they take naps. And of course, they're not bound by schedules. Although in Switzerland, everybody's bound by schedules, it seems. But, I'll see you at 10:03. But, they're not on schedules. You say you've got an appointment. Have you got a dentist appointment today? Yeah. When is it going to be? I don't know. They just have no idea. Yes, they're kids and they don't need to know when their doctor's appointments are, and we do need to know when our doctor's appointments are. But I think the point here is that, you just don't schedule everything. You don't have to have everything exactly the same. If you wake up a bit later, you go to bed a little later. It's nice to know how to have a rhythm, but you don't have to have a schedule for every single thing and be bound by them. The other thing I think that's super important with toddlers is they love cuddles. They love to be hugged. They love touch. They're super tactile. And if they're a little sad, give them a hug. If they've lost something or they've broken something, give them a hug. When they have a little, when they're upset by something, they love touch. They're always touching. And so that's what we need too. We need hugs too. So here's hugs to you. We need them. We need hugs and we need touch. And as we get older, not so easy sometimes. We don't have a partner perhaps, or we don't have someone to hold us in the way that we maybe would like to, but we have to hold ourselves. Yeah. And there's ways. Another thing to do is to have conversations, talk to family and friends. They're always chattering away. Toddlers are always talking about something or another. They're always explaining their world because they're learning for the first time. But I think there's nothing wrong with just chatting, keeping the conversations going, and being curious, being a little toddler in your head, and asking questions, even if you maybe know the answer. Get someone talking, get someone sharing. They're into that, and I'm too. Is this interesting? I really thought this was a fun video to do, and I hope that if you haven't got toddlers in your immediate life, that you will maybe go to volunteer somewhere, or you're an auntie or uncle, or a friend of someone who's got young children. You can go over and play with them, but watch them and see how much they do that can inspire you. Learn from toddlers. That's the message for today. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up because it helps YouTube to change, to share with other people. I really need that. And also, if you haven't done our survey yet, our 60ME survey, it's a community survey. We do it once a year. I'll put the link underneath so that you can join in and give us your feedback. It takes like 5 minutes. It's a super short little survey, but it means the world to us to have your feedback and to know that you're here. Thank you again for everything, everyone. Sending you lots of love. I respect you. Just spread your kindness. Go out in the world and sparkle and enjoy this beautiful world. Okay, everyone. Take care.